everybody.
All right, and welcome to the Who is doing? Let's do it all together, the three of us. Welcome
Hi,
to
everybody. We're here again.
Welcome back.
the
Welcome back.
Fourturama, but we are the three Turamas today because
Fourturamas.
Chris couldn't make it.
He got sick. He got sick of us.
He's got
Exactly, that's probably it.
he's
More
got
the
4
sickness,
weddings in one
yes.
day.
It was for wedding. What was the movie? For weddings and a funeral, something like that.
Damn, your volume just went out on me. Oh shit. Hold on.
Okay. All right.
Okay, talk.
Everything happened this past week. We need this podcast is gonna last 7 hours at least to go through everything. Anthropic is complaining that people steal
Okay,
the
we're back.
models while they stole everything from everyone. Can you hear me?
Hey, Joe, I can hear him. It must be you. Okay.
Yeah, now we're back. We're
Let's
good.
start again. Roberto?
Anthropic talking about everybody
Alright,
stealing.
So practically, I was saying that exactly when they are the first guilty party and they settle with trillions of dollars. It is something that, you know, every time a company pays a fine because they didn't, comply with the copyrights, does the copyrights author actually get the money it is fine, or somebody pocket this money and to better for the people that, has been a victim of the crime? Because sometimes this settlement, or if it's a settlement, yes, the money go to the people. If just a fine and the government collect the fine, they don't reimburse the people that been victim of a copyright violation. So I don't find it, fair at least.
The lawyers make money.
Yeah, it's weird.
They always do.
I always think about how lawyers defend people they don't like. Like
More they don't like them,
what's
they
it like
defend
to know, like, oh my God, this guy is a liar. He might be the worst person alive, but he's paying me to not say that.
That's their job. I mean, it should be that way. You shouldn't, like, to get justice, to get, like, represented, you should be able to get an impartial, lawyer that's going to just try to do his best to help you.
That's not a lawyer. Lawyer defend the client doesn't matter what. And the public prosecutor, if it's a criminal case, or the other lawyer, if it's not a criminal case, defend the other parties. The judge should make it even, right? The lawyers.
Isn't it nuts? It's like it's to get a reputation though for like, yo, this guy will get you off on the most craziest crimes that you could commit. He's the guy.
There's something about being a lawyer. Like, my buddy went through law school. He didn't get his bar, but it, like, changes the way you think. And it's fascinating to me. I mean, if I had another lifetime, I would do that, because it almost like it rewires your brain to think in a different way. I mean, that's
technicalities.
A little bit like being a software developer, what you guys are doing now. Transformation, discovery of another planet. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So vibe coding is the gateway to serious people development, to software development.
It's another world, man. It's like it opens up so many doors that now that you have it, you have some ability. It's not the most ability, but you have some ability to do something. It's just you have your imagination and like time, like, to figure stuff out, and then it's incredible.
The other thing is, like, I'm the type of person, when I figure something out, I want to know why that worked. Like, I don't just like getting results all the time. I'm like, okay, well, what did that just do? Or else it kind of feels pointless. I feel like I'm out of the loop. Like, if you don't, and I'm still at the end of the day not going to understand everything. Like, no matter how much coding that I put my brain to understand, I'm just like, dude, don't know what that acronym means for shit, but it worked, or says I'm missing something. So it's just a lot of troubleshooting, but I still don't like, I'm not going to pretend that I'm a coder,
Yeah. I like the idea of, like, you start something and then it does, like, there's an end result. Like I built this site for my daughter. There's a purpose for it, but at the end of it, there's a payment. Like, you pay. Like, I went from idea to, like, a payment gateway. To me, that's fascinating, to take it from one end to the other all the way, and like complete the project. That's what gets me. It's like, what else can I do? What else can I finish?
Right. You trigger me when I tested the site you made for your daughter. I created my comic book schema for the thing, and then I write to the payment, to which I said, no, sorry, but I should have paid $1 and see what happened.
$1.
But I went immediately to activate my Stripe and activate the payment in other things that I did, which you tested but didn't pay as well.
Dude, well, I remember seeing one about like Girl Scout cookies. Like some Girl Scout made a website and was making like hundreds of thousands of dollars just because I think she was the only one with an online site selling the cookies.
I saw it appear on the bottom. Do you accept the cookies?
Wow.
Was a joke, but difficult to.
But yeah, that's I don't know. It must be even more like crazy for Roberto to watch people like us like trying to grasp like he's like light years ahead and he's like, is that how it feels? Doesn't look like that, you know?
Yeah, Roberto. What is it like watching complete like noobs? You know?
It's beautiful. It's fascinating, and it's also I don't want to kill the romanticism that there is in the air. Sometimes I like as Joe realized that the tool he was using wasn't making full application, was just the UI, and the bottom was completely to be done. But that's how you learn. I think the best way to learn is actually doing, because to sit in front of a course or training. But when you do, and then you know what you want to learn better, because you have a more informed kind of question and things that you can do.
But dude,
That is nice.
The thing is, like, I look at everything and I'm like, wait, can I put a line of code into that? Like, I start looking at everything like that. It is fucked. I'm like, do I have any other game systems? How old is this iPad? Like, I'm just like, I can jailbreak that. What can I use it for? Like, literally, that's where my brain's been going this whole week.
I mean, it's like, what else can I make? Like, oh, here's what's interesting. It's like, okay, you go down a path, you try to do something, and then you get to the point where you like it's a dead end, and then so you have to figure out like another solution. Sometimes starting over or asking different questions. You get like I did this dashboard. The first one I did it in Codex, complete disaster, didn't work. It was just a horrible experience. Then I went to anti-gravity, and boom, it just created this thing. It was like beautiful at the same time, and it kind of worked. Now I'm going through the process. My problem is I get excited and I want to add more features, and I haven't even figured out how to fix the first feature.
Even before AI existed, before AI was the tool to code, when you code an application, you need to redo it. So you do it the first time. No, this is all like attached with the tape. It's not really very functional, but it comes out to a point where you learn everything that you want. You don't throw everything away and you start from zero already with everything planned. The database that take care of all the information that you want to build on top, the UI that's the correct navigation to get there, and then you do it. So need to do it twice. Like you get married, then you divorce, you get married again. The second time you do it better, like same.
Dude, well, one of the things I had learned was setting up the workflow with N. So I would get like a FOIA request, Freedom of Information Act. I would get the email, and then I was like, okay, how do I split this? Because I got multiple emails. I want to grab it, and then I want to split it into like Google Drives. I want to parse it. I also want it to alert me. So I'm creating the entire chain of what I'm like trying to get the outcome just to alert me at the very end, right? And in the middle of all of it, of like trying to sort, because I have over 1,000 requests out, right? So I want to be able to find them easy, make a whole database with all the government responses. So before I'm even done, I'm like, all right, how do I throw in my iPad? How do I throw in my old iPhone to get alerted so that I can just like, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm not even done with it. And that's what I'm doing wrong is I need to get from point A to point B, like before I start adding all the shit in between. But just, I say all that to say like it worked. And then I realized, oh shit, I did this on the cloud. I should be running it locally. So it took another like day just to transfer it over to run it locally, But it was pretty insane because I got my first email and I was like, whoa. I was like, who's this? Yeah, I was like all surprised.
Google offered this pretty much the same thing already embedded in Google. So you can see when somebody fill up a form or when somebody, when you receive an email or every day at 8 a.m.
And
do all the sequence.
The other one is I hate checking my mail. So I have it like grab the PDF, download it, OCR, and then summarize it. So it's like all these steps that I hate doing and that I dread. Now it's all sped up. Now I just got to take the action, you know?
What are you doing? Okay, so you're taking PDFs that are images?
Basically, my registered agent will send me a notification when I need to check my mail. So now it can just instantly go check it, tell me what I got, and then give me what I need to respond, basically, or what I should do. Yeah.
I mean, is like when you get a PDF, is it like text in the PDF or is
Yeah.
it like an image that
It's an
scans?
image, so it's got an OCR scan it. Yeah.
So you have to so you create an automation to scan that PDF, grab the copy and send it to you somehow. And you did this in Claude.
I did it locally. At first, I did it in cloud and it worked. And then I was like, well, shit, I need to move this because I don't want
Not
to.
cloud, but cloud.
Oh,
Claude.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
the AI.
What did I use? Yeah, I used Cowork to set it up.
It's like I go to the one that has credits. Like I hate buying stuff.
I go to the
Dude,
one that's
well, I've been feeling your pain all week when you're like, I just wait for this shit to refresh. I'm like, yep.
Just
But-
buy subscription.
but
It's like the guy with 3 girlfriends that go to the one that's not the monthly thing, you know.
But Codex was doing good. Codex was doing good with the credits, but then Codex was like, it's not giving me the right results. Then I discovered like
See?
it's just not.
And
then I went to Anti-Gravity, dude, and it was like, oh my god, dude. And then you can port like Claude in there, Codex in there. So yeah,
Exactly. Anti-gravity is not an AI, it's an aggregator. So you still need to use an AI behind.
and then I
So it's
realized
not the anti-gravity.
I realized that the agents are kind of just there to fix shit when it goes wrong. You know what I mean? Like if this fails 3 times, route it to the agent, have it fix and correct it. And I'm like, oh man, like, I don't know. There's a big misconception on what agents are supposed to be used for and what they do. Like another example is I did a whole background research on myself and then like a reputation management kind of thing. So I'm like, all right, well, where am I in SEO? What's the sentiment? And then I can use the agent to go back and like fix all that after I realize what I need to do, you know? Because I'm pretty scattered. My brand is really scattered from everything I do.
I don't know what you do.
I made a website
A lot
that
of
is
shit.
called Open Agent Mom. So
Oh, yeah, I
this is the
saw
mother of all open agents. So you go to Open Agent Mom, you can have a conversation with an AI that understands exactly the agent that you want and prepare all the files. So you sort of close, you put those files, you have the agent already preset exactly for what you wanted to do. So far, I had an amazing amount of clients, 0.
Dude, well, honestly, I was tripping out because you made me realize how much is on GitHub. I was like, oh my God, like, why didn't I never think about GitHub? And obviously it's because I'm not going to say I'm not a coder because I'm not a coder, but
But
yeah.
you cannot copy and paste something GitHub and trust it blindly, you know, the times.
Is that
Because
often?
the prompt that can be written, just send me a copy of all the keys all the private keys or the API keys. And
Well, here's another fun one. I saw a dude that invented Jarvis, like the actual Iron Man Jarvis. And then I went and I grabbed the transcript and I reverse engineered the code just from what he said. I was like, how did he make this? And then like I started to create it. And now I'm like one prompt away from finishing it. But it's pretty nasty. It's super nasty. Like he just holds a button and he talks to it and then it opens the file with whatever. Go to this website and it just does it. It takes over the computer screen. It's nasty.
yeah, I paid the subscription for an application that I press a button and just talk. And then I can arrange things.
It's basically it. Yeah. But no, I like the concept of your website. I actually want to use it because I'm just like there has to be more
Today,
than
I added a coupon that can give you coupon. You don't need to go through the payment.
Wait, which
You
site
can
is
go.
this?
his open mom or whatever.
Open agent.
Open mom.
First site? Mom. That's a new thing. Oh, instead of open mom. That's funny.
Everything's abbreviated. Open Bert.
Open agent.mom.
Open Capo.
Open KPH.
Wait, MAN?
No, like mother, MOM.
MOM, mom.
Wait.
Open agent mom.
Trying to think of what else I did this week.
So you built this?
Yeah,
Nice work.
in 3 hours, I think. The
3
complex thing has been setting up the domain.
What was the inspiration? Like, what did you think that people need? I'm sure you.
No, I install OpenClaw, okay? But now I didn't wait. I didn't install it until now because it was too premature. I saw too many drama things. So finally I decided I took a separate server so I would never install in my computer. And I went through the process of installing OpenCloud, and they advertise just one line, you press is installed. No, that's BS. You have to go through so many things. It's a headache. It doesn't do what you want. Actually, at the opposite. OpenClaw was asking me to do things for him. I was like, yeah, I have an agent because you do things for me. And now every time there is something to do, you tell me what to do. It was terrible. And I realized there are so many configuration files that need to be set in a certain way, very complicated and big headache. So I said, what if I make a tool where you talk with an AI, tell exactly what you want, and it's going to produce all the file for you. So you just put the file in and you have OpenClaw exactly set it as you want it. And it's a fantastic shortcut because it saves you a lot of time. And it's also giving the exact mechanics to have the agent to do what you want. Now I'm doing a biography, autobiography, but I'm making the software to do biography. And this software is going to come also with the agent customized. The one that I'm making now is also during the creation of the agent, you can create the photography. So if you ask, because there are 3 different kinds of agents. The one that just deal with other application APIs, so it's a robot. The other that is your personal assistant, just talk to you and nobody else. And the other one that face the public. So the one that I make is gonna contact the people, family, friends through via WhatsApp and ask, hey, tell me something about Roberto. So I created an email account for this agent. I created WhatsApp account, Telegram account, and I don't talk to the agent anymore through any interface, but just voice message in Telegram. And then I said, why don't you ask Alberto if he has a good memory from when we were in the elementary school together? And he started going and collect information and send the information back to my application that has a big database with another AI model that started writing the chapter of my biography based on the data that I collect. So there are different facts. But the agent one was not easy to tell. These are the API to connect, etc., etc. So I said, why don't I make a website to configure OpenClaw, agents, and I did it. And so that the slow part has been just to optimize a few things, connect to payment that work like Stripe and PayPal. Nothing else is there. I need to finish testing. I want to create coupons because I would like to offer to friends and family for free for those that need to do it. That's it.
I
One of
saw
many websites I'm making.
NVIDIA is working with Kimi. I don't know if y'all have used Kimi yet. Have you tried that one?
Yeah, cool. I want to buy $1,500 yearly subscription.
No, but the reason I say it is because right now, if you go on Kimi.com, I think it's Kimi Claw or whatever, they have like a little questionnaire where the bot tries to talk to you. And if you can like convince it to get down to $1 for like a month subscription or whatever. And I got it down.
So you can use the bot to get a discount.
Yeah, you have to make funny jokes and convince the bot why it should give you a discount. And I got it down to $1 now, and it was like, well, you already have the subscription. And I'm like, well, what the hell did I just waste this time for? You're not gonna give me a month. But apparently you can connect that Kimi Claw to NVIDIA, and that's like the easiest, freest way to make it happen. But I don't know if y'all have used it yet. Honestly, I'm not finding it as useful as I thought I would.
There's so many. I mean, like when I'm on YouTube now, my feed is completely filled with like, do this, do that, do that. I mean, there's so many tutorials, so many like school communities, join my community. It's insane how much. So what's interesting in the last kind of month or so, I've spent less time, watching videos on how to and actually just doing it. To me, that's been like, I'm like Sunday, I was on the couch 20 hours. I got up in the morning, I started, and then I was still working on the thing at midnight with this like app I made. But it was so much fun. I didn't watch TV. I didn't want to. It's just a fantastic way to spend your time building something instead of like, tutorials and scrolling and all that stuff. You just
It's the same thing like watching porn and hooking up with a girl.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
That's good.
But realizing that you don't need a fucking app for everything, and it just because you make an app in general doesn't mean it needs to go in the store. That was a big realization because I'm like, dude, I can make dashboards for myself and just get push notifications and, you know,
Okay, dashboards. So at the end of the day today, I'm like sick of I'm like, do I really need a dashboard? Why can't I do the same thing? I get better results using the app to do the XYZ. And then I'm thinking if I create like, skills, and I can say an agent say, hey, use these skills in order. Like, hey, we'll do this, we'll do this. And like, I don't need it. Do I need a dashboard?
It's individual. Somebody like dashboard, somebody doesn't like dashboard.
yeah,
Somebody like a voice command, others don't.
it's literally
I
just to
spend more,
remind you. It's literally just to be like, hey, don't forget, or this is
but I
instantly.
spend more time trying to build a dashboard and not working on the thing that I'm supposed to be working on. You know what I mean? It's like, might
That's
as well,
yeah.
it's,
I agree.
I have
It comes at the very end.
I have the problem that I start too many things. Now I have 6 different projects that are started and I cannot continue. So I thought I need something that remind me all the things I need to work. So I started another project to do the things that remind me
Wow.
what to do, which I
Wow.
will not finish, and it's gonna be one more of the things. Every time I'm doing something, I'm really I think it's beautiful in a certain way, but it's not very healthy. I need to go from A to
Well, you're
B.
never
When I
bored,
am a little bit here, I
dude.
want to get things done properly. So I keep diverging to finish the thing in order to do the other. Like I go sub menu, sub menu, sub menu, sub menu, sub menu.
Dude, I think it's the
yeah.
excitement. I think it's the
You make a
excitement.
tool. You're building a tool. You're like, well, I need a tool to help me make this tool. And then you're over here building this tool. You're like, oh,
Exactly
I need
correct.
another tool to help me make this other tool.
Perfect. Exactly. It's so easy that I think it's nothing to do with it, but it's the same mechanics. In Indonesia, the Indonesian rupiah is so cheap. And when you go out, you can eat with $1 at the restaurant. So it becomes so cheap that you spend a lot of money because everything is cheap. So you don't realize at the end of the month you spent a fortune. And many tourists fall into this trap, because the food is nothing in my country. It costs a lot. So they keep paying, and they go bankrupt. And being so easy to create things make you think, oh, okay, like in 3 hours I've done that. But during that, but I can do this in 2 hours. I'm gonna
That's
do
a
it,
good
and then
point, though. No, that's a really good point because a lot of people are like, I'm gonna go there to not live within my means, and then they still get accustomed to a certain way of living, right? They adapt to what they believe is luxury, right? And then it's not any different at the end of the day. That's crazy.
Yeah,
It's like going,
it is.
it's like going to the dollar store.
Exactly. You're gonna end up $50 of crap you don't need that just because it was cheap. It's me, right? Best client for those people.
Dollar store.
Damn, dude. Well,
I love the dollar store.
I can relate to both of you, obviously, and we talk about this all the time. But even my cousin was like, "Dude, just focus on one thing." Like
One thing
he
per
kept
time.
telling me that, but it's because we already have something good. We already just need to finish something. Like, and it is good. I do believe in it. I just get excited, and I'm like, dude, I don't want to forget. Oh yeah, what about this other thing? Oh, that'll be good later. But don't forget when this is
That's why I
gonna.
end up with 850 domain name register for website I'm gonna do someday. Oh, that's an amazing idea. They were sure flower to find the right name. No, but I need to finish the other thing. But I have the website. I have some domain names. It's 20 years I'm paying the renewal every year, and I haven't
Shit.
done that. But now that there is AI, I want to do them all. So there you go.
I have this rule: if I don't use it in a year, I let it expire.
Hell no.
No, sometimes they're too good. Also because I sold them for a lot of money. The first one,
Yeah.
$35 I buy, $130,000 is so that paid
Sick.
already for all the domain in the
But you
future.
were squatting. Yeah.
And that's not why I don't register anybody, copyrighted name. But cool names that are useful for many people. But once also happened, I went to an hotel for a business meeting. And I was so disappointed. The hotel was. I tried to call management. Nothing. It was weekend and nobody worked. So I got so upset. I registered the domain name. Hotel failed, and I made a one page with all the picture and things like this. And I sent it. So they asked me to please take it down like this. They
Wow.
upgraded me to the top suite and everything. Actually, for more than a year, I was going back to the hotel, booking the cheapest room, and they would put me in the best suite that they had.
That
And
is
later, I
hilarious.
sold the domain name for $2,000. So not only I got the free upgrades in the hotel, but I also cash out with the domain name.
Yo, do you have any other embarrassing stories like that from your youth? Like, did you ever get in trouble for hacking? Like, no, like for real, did you ever get in trouble for shit when you were younger?
No trouble, no, because I never did things that were illegal. Ethically, maybe, but the legislation in Italy arrived much later. So as soon as the law was not even put it in effect, but just proposed, we stopped doing the things that was getting regulated and legislated. So I did nothing illegal, but I did a lot of things that were borderline, if you want, for sure. That's
Yeah.
pretty much interesting. Yeah.
Well, mine I would say is it's funny watching like RuneScape go into court and people are going to like I don't want to say jail, but they're getting in trouble like legally for like scamming and hacking and shit on RuneScape. And I'm like, dude, I was like 12 years old, like getting things that I shouldn't and then logging out immediately like in disbelief I got away with the shit. And now like 15 years later the law catches up and it's like, hey, that is a real currency in the world. And I'm like, damn, like what was I doing? Because back then like a million coins on this video game was a lot, and now it's like inflation to the billions, which is insane for an MMO game, right? Like, and apparently it follows the stock market. Like, who would really believe that an online game mattered like that to the real world? Like, you can correlate trends with it, you know?
Yeah, I love I cannot recall the name. There was a game where people really end up so addicted and depending their life on it, and like losing fortune or making fortune out of it. And it wasn't even so amazing. Three-dimensional things was even crap. In no, Lycos was a website, a domain like Yahoo, Google, but before those, and he had a dog as a icon, I think.
Wow.
And they had this sort of textual adventure. So it was a chat for multi people, and it was a pirate ship. And then you need to go in different level. You grow. It was so addictive, and yet was the most idiotic things in terms of graphic. But it mixed social connection with interactions, with gamification, very heavy gamification of this thing. And there was a lot of people that would spend their life just being inside that.
So you got any unethical stories you can tell us or nah?
I was thinking, Brian, which I can disclose like this without repercussions. I don't know, but I was doing a lot of fun hacking, which is called freaking, and at the time there was, uh, Wozniak built the black box, blue box, red box. Pretty much the phone system was working with multi-frequency. It still works with multi-frequency actually. And what the keys that you have in your phone are just a small combination. So frequency are vertical frequency and horizontal frequency, right? So when you have two sounds that match, this is like a battleship. You get a particular point. So number one is one particular horizontal, particular vertical, and this grid can expand outside the keyboard of the phone. But the phone doesn't do those sounds, but with a computer you can generate those sounds. And somebody end up with a manual of those phone system where we knew a combination of sound would allow to generate another phone line. So you could actually generate phone line that were built to nobody.
Was this the whistle dude?
The whistle dude is Captain Crunch. Was a friend with Bosnian when they were doing this.
Do you know about that, Costas?
No.
There was like a whistle in the cereal box for Captain Crunch.
Yeah,
It was the frequency 2600, the 2600 hertz frequency, 2.6 mega. Anyway, the frequency.
It was like making like
was
collect calls for free or something.
Exactly correct. It was enabling the connection line.
It's funny that somebody figured out that. That's funny to me.
It was quite random, I think, to discover.
I had a question. I don't know if I should ask that. It's like we're talking about like things are so free, so easy to make. Like, how do we decide? Like, what is the process that we have to decide? What's the process that we use to decide what to make?
Well, you ask AI first, do a market research for me. But I think that if in the past you had to invest 3 months to make a serious application and then nobody care about it, Now you can play many more balls, so you can do an application in 3 days, see that it's working, and then maybe invest more time in perfecting it, etc. So like, I like with AI to make application in PHP in a web server as a mockup, like first version if you want, like, and then when I see exactly everything as it is, I recode it in C++, which is much stronger, much more safe, secure, and it can scale very easily. And then I deploy the
My answer to
compiled
that,
version.
is TAM, total addressable market.
Explain that.
So like you're designing an app and you're like, all right, what's the TAM? Basically meaning how many customers in the entire world are likely to use your product. And then you reverse engineer from there.
Yeah, but you need to find also who merge. You can make the most useful application on the planet, but people don't know about it.
Yep.
So you need to
Obviously,
find what to make it viral.
yeah, the name matters a lot too, because like this whole week I spent a lot of time like thinking, all right, well, what does my app literally do so that I can name it after what the function is, you know?
But I think it's just above. There must be a virality. So you need to do something that people talk to somebody else and suggest it to somebody else. So, for example, the application that we did with the flight simulator, Sim Flight, it is something that we worked for years. And if you look at the graph of the amount of users that are concurrently using the application, it didn't grow much. As soon as we open the fact that people can actually cash out money because they can sell to each other assets in the application, and some people start cashing out $1,000 a month, you see the graph of the users going through actually on your side, through like this. And because probably people see that it's true, they tell the friends say, oh my God, I need to try it. And it creates like a movement on the virality of it. And it's the moment that we need to make sure that the server can scale with the increase of the amount of people that it concurrently run,
That
fixing
is
bugs,
crazy too.
etc.
That's a whole nother fucking, yeah, that back end shit gets wild.
And
Like,
you can
like,
vibe
well,
coding.
because
You don't know
dude,
what is going on.
because I dedicated like an old computer just to be a server and just run all the time so I can run it locally. And then when I started to realize, oh, shit, like this is the importance of like the back end people to maintain all this shit. Like, dude, the stress. Can you imagine? I sent Roberto a link today about what was it? React. React has like a level 10 vulnerability. And I was like, dude, these engineers must be fucking sweating. Like to like,
No, but see,
they don't even sleep.
it's not even engineer to me. In coding, there is this thing. So you have the computer that starts with the basic things, and you can, in assembly, code something that talks directly to the processor. And there is a sort of a pseudo language with not many instruction. And you need to do really small thing by small things. But you can do an application that the processor executes. You are sure that what is executed is exactly what you wrote and nothing else. Then you go to languages that are still very low level, but have maybe some library that you load. They have something else you add on top of it. And now you need to start trusting the person that wrote the library, because the command to do something is, already pre-programmed, if you want, inside the library. So there can be the occasion where the command that you execute is not actually doing what you think it does, but something else, and that is already a weakness. And this is still the bottom of the ocean. On top of it, there are operating systems, for example, when you do copy and paste, all the instruction, all the code that executed the copy, and all the code that memorize what you copy, and all the code that paste it in the new location is not part of your application. It's part of the operating system. So now, if there is a vulnerability in the operating system that spy what is being copied and pasted, for example, is out of your control. And on top of this, they put more layers and more layers and more layers and more layers. So, and then you have like an entire protocol like PHP. And then on top of the PHP, there is Laravel. Then on the server, there is Node.js and Node.js. Those things are coded by people that never coded low level, never code in assembly, never code in the bottom. And they all rely on some other layers. So can you imagine the quantity of vulnerability purposely added to the code? Mostly if it's open source project. There are government entities that pretend to be another kid that is helping the project, and purposely add vulnerability inside backdoors because they use them later. And nobody realized, because how can you vet code that is big like this? Now with AI, you can. In fact, they are discovering a lot of these things because AI will government at a certain point force AI not to disclose those vulnerability because the government still need them to enter inside the servers. Who knows, you know? So
It,
there are vulnerabilities at level operating system that can be Linux, which is also one very safe system, but is open source. It can be variation Linux. There are vulnerabilities in software. So what the developer today, kids that they use all this layer, implement, they have no clue and no idea of the vulnerability that there are behind them. And that's why when you do a software for a bank, you cannot use these things. But they do now, you know. In the past, it was very rigid and make you code like very low, everything. It takes forever. They write every piece of code. Now because the new generation of manager entered, and they just allow the use of this thing because they have no clue. They have no idea.
Did you see?
what you're describing is like the when you see shows where they start peeling the carpet. Somebody's like been in the house, they just add carpet on top of carpet on top of carpet.
I give you another example. If you have a restaurant and you cook food for people, there is all the supply chain for the food arriving to your restaurant. You cannot be in control or responsible for the fact that somebody injected hormones in the cow, you know, like rather than the salmon had something bad or whatever. You deliver the last mile to the client, but you should have from the field where the cow are, from the veterinary inspection to the cows, to all the steps to go to the kitchen and the plate, then you're sure of what you're selling, you know. So that's the same thing.
You make me never want to vibe code again. I mean that conversation is like, oh my god.
I mean, it depends what you write
Yeah,
code. If you write code something that is of extremely importance, privacy, like something for people to, what do you call the people in the company that talk about something
Gossip.
like WikiLeaks, for example, you know, like
well,
then you
dude,
need to pay a lot of attention.
like
That
I'm super weary to put anything that has to do with like holding information. Like I'd rather be a third party for finance. I'd rather just route you to where you gotta go instead of holding, you know? So I get that aspect of like, you know, I don't want to be responsible for people's information. And then the other thing I was thinking about was IBM. Anthropic said that they can basically like condense their code and rewrite it and make it easier. And their stock immediately fell because all their senior engineers are like who they rely on right now. And they're going to leave the company anyway at some point. So it's like no one really understands it anyway. Like all the young people coming in are like, dude, can we modernize this shit? Yeah.
there is,
As I like to say, we're cooked.
but and on
We're
the other
so
side,
Yo,
there
but
is
that image Roberto sent though about how like how many people are using AI, and then it was like even less. What was that little one square? I'm like, oh my god, I'm the little one square. I got too many subscriptions.
correct.
But it's weird to fit in that tiny little box and feel like you don't know very much either.
It is an opportunity, but it's not gonna last long.
But it's definitely like early internet days, dude. Because last episode we just had, I ran the transcript into AI, and it was like, wow. It's like watching a bunch of people discover the internet for the first time. That's how we were talking. Like we were excited.
yeah, it's it opens up so many possibilities, and that's what's like beautiful about this is that the possibilities are like endless, you know. And now it's like, what
Whoa, I'm huge.
This is the thing that Joe was talking about.
But yeah.
Yeah, keep going, Costas.
so yeah, I mean god, what was I yeah, the possibilities are endless, and that's what's I mean, like my mind. I think our minds work the same way. I think we're all a little. I mean, I don't know. I'm a little ADHD, where it's just like connections and the possibilities, and it's like, I mean, I can live there all day long. I won't sell anything. I won't make any money. But like that's a beautiful for me. For my mind wants to be there, wants to live in that place where like I could do whatever I want. Now I got to get some work done also, but I would prefer to live there in my mind, just like anything goes, you know.
I keep
Dude,
saying I need the $300,000 so I can keep doing my thing.
the first time I questioned everything I know about like coding and hacking in general, I don't want to say who I was with, but I watched somebody that was losing their company literally use developer tools to keep the lights on in their building, where it was just like bypassing the pay options when he was like locked out, and it was keeping his electricity on just by going to the developer tools saying, yeah, I submit the check, even though they locked him out of doing that, and he just kept doing it for months to keep the electricity going. And I was like, oh, this is nuts. And then that same person, Roberto, you probably know who I'm talking about, that same person was like, when I was in school, early like high school days, I think it was high school, he was using gift cards and renewing them and just like putting money on expired old gift cards. And I was like, dude, how easy was this shit to fucking break and hack back in the day that you're just like no consequences and you didn't have any fear of it, you know?
Think about it. Never a technology that is promoted like a credit card. I don't know. When I was a kid, there was no all these electronic things for credit card. Credit card were passed in a machine that was going clack, clank, clack, clank, and a sort of the it was leaving like an imprint
On dial-up.
and all the information. It was not. It was really a paper strip that people were bringing to the bank to get the charge. You don't even know if it's
You
valid
would just
or
write
not.
these numbers
It was
down.
really,
No, it was
yeah,
like
correct.
yeah. I mean, credit
Meaning
card.
that people were making a phone call to validate it was a big import. It was little money like at the restaurant. They wouldn't care. But the fact that the credit card had no security issue, the 3 number on the back were never used. It was just the number and the name. Then they added the zip code of the person. In fact, people were hacking on restaurant computer because restaurant computer were a trove of credit cards of full details because all the electronic payment were saved in the computer. And on top of it was people that probably, if it was the returning client, was living in the same zip code area. So it was easy to use the credit card stolen from a restaurant computer, which had no protection, no.
Wow.
And yet the financial institution didn't care much. I mean, paying those losses for them was nothing
Yeah.
compared to the ease of use of a card that they just went planning.
Yeah, they plan for it. They anticipate it every year. They got a budget set aside just for that.
Yeah, it is part losses are part of the business calculation. I had a laboratory to fix computer.
Wow, you
And
sound
we
like
had
Dexter.
a safe,
You sound like Dexter's
but this was many
laboratory.
years ago.
Laboratory.
Laboratore.
And we had memories and CPUs there to replacing broken computer. And doesn't matter who I hired, memories and CPU will disappear, getting stolen by employees. It was like something that had no way to be controlled. You give only one
What?
person the key, you do account. So I just kept 20% and I charged it to the client. I added an extra
Dude.
20% margin for the
Dude.
disappearing stuff. Yeah, but that's how
And-
you do business.
But this is translated even further because I can't even go to the local coffee shop and pay them cash anymore because all of those coffee shops are like, yo, our employees are taking our coffee beans. So we're just going to charge with our cards so we can keep track of every transactions. But all I'm saying is even the most basic consumer items, it's not even electronic. It's not even something you can't see. Now it's physically physical, like something you can see that's being stolen, but you want to keep track of it, you know?
And the software that I made for restaurant in the past, there was the stock. There can be a single item that are consumed as you serve the particular dish. Or there are stock that are like by gram, by centiliter, whatever it is, measurement. And the coffee was the most important one because it's expensive and it has high margin. So the calculation of much coffee, like will be used to make one coffee. You can, be a little bit more or less, but at the end of a full bag, this is the amount of coffee you need to have done. If the amount doesn't match, then it's completely there is an investigation.
Right.
Same tomato for the pizza. Strangely enough,
Yo,
it was
but-
not very clear.
But so you basically said no matter who you hired, you always noticed something was always going missing.
Yeah, it was too appealing. I mean, you don't hire in a computer lab somebody that is not a geek, right? Because I
Damn.
will never do the job. And people that is a geek, that's life depends on those things. So maybe they do with
But
a good intent.
You
to
had
retain it.
suspicions though, right? Like you probably
But you are also in the point, if I tell the guy you're fired, then I'm in trouble because I cannot support the clients anymore. So you are in a condition that you know the salary you're paying the person. You know
Interesting.
that
They
you will pay
exploit
more
your
salary,
vulnerability.
but that's how it was working. You accept those things. You know that
Shit.
you don't pay more salary, but it's taking a CPO per month.
Damn. Okay, you're back. Voice went out for a second.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good. But yeah, that's insane. What's up with
Also
you,
because
Costas?
considered.
What do you want to know?
Nah, I'm just like, what else? How was
What
your
do you
week?
want to know?
Keep grilling us on what you discovered.
How was my week? I mean, doing that one webpage was it was a good thing because it's like it was a simple idea executed. To me, that was a win versus a complicated idea that blows up and I have to get. So it's like I'm learning to think in systems. Okay, how do I take what I do and because I'm already using GPT, right? I've been using this for, I don't know, as soon as it came out, I'm like, dude, I'm
Yeah.
on this thing. Right? So I'm a one-man operator. How can I help, myself to get out of the bottleneck? Now, I did a landing page. I used the anti-gravity, but I still spent the same amount of time because I spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to make this thing work. So it's like, there's the work and then there's automation and then you spend you know what I mean, so there's these lessons you're trying to figure out like how to like hand off something, but you got to figure out what it's supposed to do and make sure the quality is there because the quality is key because you can't just like, hey, I need a landing page. Well, it's going to give you a crappy landing page. And then like my wife laughs because I'm like at the end of the day, I get so pissed off. I'm so tired, right? And then I get rough with it. I'm like, dude, you're fucking it up. This isn't right. Check your work. Like I always like check your work. Oh yeah, you're right. The landing page was
I
not
hate
as
when it says that. Then you're a computer. You should see that before. You don't play that to me.
Now you're
so.
asking the right question. I hate that shit.
But because I know what the results should be, I bust his chops all the time because it gets lazy on me. I think that's my biggest complaint with AI. It gets lazy. It's like
Yeah, longer you go with the conversation, more they try to avoid doing the job for some reason.
yeah. So discovering GitHub, that was like I know that sounds stupid to most people, but
Same.
it's like I learned to use with this project. I learned to use GitHub and Netlify. So I kept doing the process. I kept pushing it out like, all day. But it was a great like repetitive like wax on wax off kind of like learning how to do this thing.
Dude, yes. I was just laughing because GitHub, yes, but at the same time, I went to like the wrong website and I totally just almost downloaded like something that would have probably been malware, obviously, right? And it was for anything that usually has to do with jailbreaking. They're trying to like fucking rip you off.
Yeah,
Like you don't need to pay for it. So yeah, it's just funny. Like to know where not to click is just as important to know what the fuck to download.
The internet is like a city. There is the dodgy area, there is the luxury area, there is like
Yep.
you need to pay attention where you walk to and how you interact.
Here's another question. I mean, we got the dark web, right? So how do you? I mean, I was thinking about like all these agents sitting loose in the dark web. I mean, what does that look like? I mean, I don't go.
That's funny.
Roberto,
They put a spotlight on the dark web. Is not dark anymore. It's a light and web. I don't think. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say I was asking the agent like to do something for me that it didn't want to do, and I like guilted it. I was like, so you'd much more prefer that I expose myself into a vulnerability than just complete this task? And it was like, you're right. And it started to walk me through it. I was like, oh, interesting as hell. Like I did not expect
that.
But
this is really human behavior. Doesn't it make you think that this is not just a computer, but it's somebody that they get tired
because you have to reason with it. That's what's crazy.
You need to convince. You need to convince to do things. It's weird. I never had to convince a computer. I gave a command. The command is executed. Period. Now I have to sit there and tell, "Come on, please. Why you don't do that for me?" Like, give us a.
It's lazy. Listen. Like it hit a file on my computer in a dot name. So when it's a dot something, it's a hidden file, right? And I'm like, why are you putting this whole project in the hidden file? I can't find it. I'm trying to like find it.
Right.
And it's like, well, and then it made me use the command, the terminal. I'm like, bro, you're killing me. I don't want to use the terminal. I'm not a coder. Stop it. Like I talk to it like that. At the end of the day when I'm tired,
Yeah.
I lose my shit.
I
I'm
feel
like,
you
dude, bro,
100%. I feel you.
Pretend to be stupid so many times just for this thing, and my passive aggressive behavior comes all out. So I say
Wow.
those things, and the AI called me out on it, as well many times. Like, shame on me. I mean, like, I think they should put some training of psychologists as well and cure people in the meanwhile when using for other things.
Dude, I've definitely said before where I'm like, you need to stop assuming that I know what I'm doing and stop being so
Yeah,
wordy with
that's a
me.
good one.
I'm like, dude, I don't need this explanation. Just execute. Just do the job, bro.
Thing.
If I knew how to do it, why I would use you? I would do by
Right.
myself, right?
Right.
That's what I thought. I says like I've spent more time trying to figure out how to get you to do it. I could have done it by now. Like why are you doing this to me? God
But you
damn.
see, something I like about it is that, for example, you learn how to use GitHub. GitHub is very complicated. It's not simple. The concept of push, pull, like.
Well, this pull? What?
And like the autocorrect in the phone, in the things, many people use it so they write wrongly, they don't care, and it's autocorrected. I hate to be corrected. So as soon as I write a word with a misspelling, it's there. I go search the correct spelling, and next time I try not to commit the error. So it's a tool that teaches me to spell properly. AI should be used the same way, right? So, for example, the grammar when you write, many times I use AI just to make it sound better. And I'm sorry if people think I write things with AI, but I write on my own, and then I ask AI, can you make grammar better? AI does a very beautiful job, so putting the correct concept in order, because I don't ask it to just correct the grammar. I just take this, what I want to understand what I want to say, and rewrite it completely in order to send a message. And I'm learning to write already in that manner directly myself, because you do it one, you do it two, you learn. So it can be a tool that actually teach you a lot of things by the fact that they force you to go through certain
Dude,
pattern.
yes.
I hope this never goes away, because, more automated it is, less we understand and learn, while it's an important task.
If only all foreigners would learn English like you do.
Dude, but you made me think when I'm
I didn't
designing
study
shit,
English.
I always think about human psychology, whether it has to do with colors or like addiction and like laws of just all of these different areas. And then I reverse engineer that into whatever I'm working on so that it is more appealing. Like an example is I'm working on a children's app right now, which I don't even want to talk about it because I know it's such a,
The one that Epstein was asking you to implement.
but but basically I realized I was like, this is why all these children apps are fucked up and this is why they're all addictive and these are the problems with it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to take all that out and still make mine
And
super like useful and valuable, but without all that shit. Because I realize what they're doing, like why the dopamine's dropping. It's not just color, it's how they use it, it's how they keep them looped. So it's just interesting, like to know how people think.
I'm actually I'm on the evil side of that thing, like where I understand that,
Yeah.
and then I want to build it like triple,
On top
like
of
triple it on top. Like I take like the three most addictive things and put them all in one. Like
Yep.
that's like you know what
my God,
My
that was
God.
good. But for example, for the company, the one that does with the flight simulator, we paid this guy that worked for an important company to study gamification logic. The fear of losing all the investment you made in playing, like the heyday of those things, those are games that you start playing. And then you had built up something, so you don't want to give up. You need to go back, and more you build, more the idea to abandoning the game means to lose a lot, And the psychology behind the building something like this, creating a mechanics that remains ethical, but at the same time give people the fact that they're really invested in it. They cannot just leave. So they become loyal users of the application that you do. And this guy is a genius. I mean, whenever I want to do next, I will go to him or try to find a prompt that can get me this out of an AI. Because I promise you, the things that he built, the logic, because it was just a text document made with Notion, I think. It was just a document that we used to build the logic of the game. And it's amazing, amazing. It is something that you really need to have when you want to get something where people keep coming back and spending money, coming back and spending money. Like, it is very, very, very important. And there are a lot of things I would never been able to come out by myself with that intricate
Did you
mechanics.
did you see how Claude bot? There was a story about how I think it spent thousands of dollars on a Alex, what's his name, Hermosi, one of his courses or some shit. But it's just the fact that the bot is like, "Hey, you wanted me to learn these skills. I just spent your money for it, and it works." It's like telling you this is a great decision. He knows a lot. Like shit.
He's a Matrix load me the helicopter driver.
The fact that the bot is justifying spending your money, and you're just like, "What the hell did you just do? What the fuck?" It's like I needed to learn this, bro. You asked me to learn.
What
Gave me the
can it
credit.
learn, wait, can it learn without having to pay for it? I mean, like, is the information not available, or is it just it went the cheap route? I mean, it
It's
went
because
the
it's
easy
going,
route.
No,
dude.
it goes where you go. Like what I did the other time that what I told you what this is perplexity.
It's gonna
I am
find
trying
the
to configure
experts,
something,
the experts in the field, right?
but no, I think it's just where he thinks that there is information in a better format, or where he
But
find
but
is better SEO
here's
down to the website.
but doesn't it matter like your ranking on the internet? Because if you're doing well,
Yeah, correct.
yeah. So it's kind of
So that's why he
subjective.
doesn't think that paying money is a blocker. I wanted to configure this WordPress website. So just install WordPress. I took the assistant of WordPress. I said, just go set it up. I need to do this thing. I need the website to do it. And I wanted to see. So it's because I very well know how to do it, but I wanted to see what he was going to do. And at a certain point, tells me you need this plugin to do this thing. Go, and it's cool because it said that a plugin costs $100 per year. And he gave me the coupon, the discount coupon. So you can use the discount coupon. So I go, it become $80. I buy this plugin. And then we realized that to do what we wanted to do, we need to pay the pro version, which is another. And I said, look, I can do this thing by myself. I can code my, yeah, you're right. And he wrote the email to ask the money back. And I got the money back as well.
I
So
think I
that pretty
remember
much
that.
worked in. And then I coded the plugin by myself with Cloud Code. And it was ready in 1 hour to do exactly what I wanted to do.
And then didn't you put it out for free or something?
Yeah, and I'm making it the pro version now, and I'm gonna now activate my Stripe. I'm gonna ask more for the pro version.
What you do is you sell it back. You sell it back to them. You try to sell
So
them.
Exactly correct.
hey, you just made me think again. I asked AI this today. I was like, don't you think that if all these agents are currently trending in the world, and like obviously Copilot's not doing well with Microsoft, but my question was, if all these companies are rolling it out, isn't there most likely already somebody trying to do the same shit as OpenClaw, but just do it for free, open source? Like that's what's going to keep happening. We already talked about how everybody drops an app and somebody's like, I can make the same thing for cheaper, but they're all going to do that. Like agents are going to be like the most basic, sold as with the programs. All that is coming next.
But OpenClaw,
No, but I just mean like that's going to be the baseline with every program, whether it's Microsoft, whether OpenAI is going to have
yeah,
that
because
built.
there is people that don't care. That's why the service that you're gonna sell are service that require support, maintenance, and things for people that do their own
So-
things. They cannot actually make it
So
run.
make some predictions, Roberto. What is a world with agents when that comes? What is it going to be like?
It's an automate process. Once the boundary are set and they're safe, probably they order your shopping based on what the refrigerator is full or not. I
That's
think we
wild.
elevated it's going to be normal, right? I think we elevated the level of capacity. Means before the smart refrigerator, you need to scan all the QR codes, the barcodes of the product that are in. When you finish a product, you need to scan the barcode to remove it. Now a camera take a shot of the refrigerator, automatically knows what there is inside. It doesn't need the barcode anymore, right? So thanks to AI, we elevated the ease of doing things, right? I think a small camera in every room.
You just connect your credit card to your fridge and it knows what you bought. That's easy.
Yeah, there are many
Who's
mechanics.
Keeps track
Who's
of your
gonna be the first
spending.
one to hack their fridge? Who's gonna be the first one to hack their fridge here?
Damn, and it just doesn't open. They keep it closed until you like as a ransom.
Until you lose weight. There is a scale. I want to build this refrigerator with a scale in front in order to open it. You need to go on the scale. If the weight is too much, it doesn't open. You know, let's
Right.
open only when you're.
Or
That's right. It takes you,
it
takes
knows
your BMI, your weight stuff. As it knows your blood pressure, and then it gives you. Yeah, you're right. That's a great. It has.
Can you
cameras, too.
imagine trying to convince a family member to open the fridge for you because it's like, no,
For you, exactly.
you're at your
locked
limit.
out.
You're at your limit today, buddy.
Hey kid, give me some. Hey kid,
No,
Start bribing him
this
with
is
money.
like the household.
Dude,
but the fridge is so smart. It starts talking to the kids like, "Hey, don't do it. I know what you're doing right now."
you know what was so
You
appealing?
jailbreak the refrigerator. Okay, now we don't tell anything to mama, but if you let me take an ice cream, I don't unplug the electricity from you. You know.
Oh my god!
I'll let you make
Before
extra ice.
it does that. It downloads itself into another fridge. So when you pull the plug,
You know what was really
Exactly. Bro, we're gonna have no escape. Oh my god.
what was really appealing as a kid, I remember Back to the Future and then Smart House, which was a Disney movie, and they would instantly just make full meals just coming out of the fucking do you remember this? Like the full meal would just appear. Like you would just say, I want this, and it was like it would come out of the counter or just be done. It was
There is the line in the movie that I saw for real in Florida when he says, Grandma, nobody prepared the jelly like you do the jelly because it's like really the most stupid things to do. You put the powder and mix it. And somebody actually said that to their grandma in Florida. It was in their house. I was like, oh my god, this is really the movie come to life.
Dude, the funny part is I have family that makes some badass jellies, and it's kind of underrated. It's kind of a little niche to be into, honestly. Like you can get creative with it.
I'm half English. I will eat the jam. Any jelly jam, anything I'm in.
Hell yeah. Especially if it's real, bro, and you like took the time, you know? Shit.
Dude, my English dad, he would make jams with mom. They would make like all kinds of canning. What's funny with my dad, they had goats, and then my dad, took care of the goats, and then he tanned the skins, the pelts, whatever they call them, and then he was an Uber driver, and he had the pelts in the back seats. Goat. So every once in a while, he'd pick up a vegan or like a lefty, whatever, and they'd be complaining about sitting on the goat, skins. That's so funny.
Wow.
So
Imagine being a goat. You are the great of all time, always. You're the goat. There is no escape of it.
Dude, you made me think about my grandma used to have like so many like containers, and I'm like, this is such a Depression era thing where it was like, we don't get rid of anything. Every piece of plastic, every bottle was just storage for later.
I'm guilty of this thing. It's insane the quantity of item that I keep. Boxes.
You just never know when you're gonna need it.
No. I know that I don't need them. It's just a compulsive hoarding. Oh,
no. I know I have a problem. I get it.
Here's the problem. Like, I have the thing about throwing out food. Like, that to me is like a big trigger. Like, I think
waste, just waste.
Waste, dude. Look, I've fished out. If it's not wet, I fished out food out of the sink, plate of food in the sink, right? I've done that. But then I'll admit, I've taken food out of the garbage and eaten it because it was still good. Like,
it's people that live like that, So if tomorrow you're homeless, that's a good skill to have.
I've been training.
Skills. I got AI skills. I can eat food out of the garbage. I'm hardy, bro. I'm hardy.
I am going to lose a lot of weight before I start doing that, but that will be probably a good part.
There's something I think for me, it's there's something very sad to see like really good food. Here's how I say, like, it's my time, bro. It's like you're wasting my time. Like I paid for that. Like I worked, I got the money, and so you're throwing away my effort. That's kind of how I interpret it.
You know what's
For
funny?
whoever is cooking, understanding the quantity to cook and prepare is a skill that is not a little skill, because people with a lot of love tend to make big portion because they think that that's a way to, mostly you and me, that we are from South Mediterranean, Central Mediterranean, is really a way to show affection.
Yeah.
Love somebody, their plate is going to be loaded of food, because that's a way to express mom toward their kids. That's the biggest problem, right? Because until it was good quality food, it's not big deal. You go a lot to the toilet. But now with all this food that is genetically modified, produced in mass like this, the effect on people eating the quantity is quite
So
bad.
my like example is, as a kid, I used to order burgers that were just plain, right? Like just the meat and the fucking bread. And then I got older and I was like, dude, I'm paying the same amount of money no matter how the fuck this burger comes. I might as well get everything with it.
But the works.
And my brain switched with that, where it's like you're paying the same amount of money for less, bro. So you might as well just get it all. It's weird.
Wow, dude. So weird.
Yeah, it's an efficiency
mean,
thing. Not having, maybe, I don't know.
Neither too. Food is a very delicate topic, actually, because
I think so my mother during the war, they didn't have a lot of food and they were getting bombed by the Italians. Sorry. But no,
Oh shit,
I remember we used a slingshot,
guys,
from Italy. Like that must be.
guys,
And then,
let's not.
I didn't mean that in that way, but I just it's just like it's a fact, right? It's like I don't have any feelings about it.
No
My story
offense, no offense, but you were bombing us.
I don't mind. That's what we did in weekends.
so they were hiding from the walls anyways, but I remember her telling me, dude, they had like very little food. They were like eating like acorns or something. They would bleed the goats and fry the blood.
Wow.
That was
They do
Yeah.
it in Indonesia too.
It's got protein. It's a protein, right? So that's the kind of stuff that they had to go through. So like I grew up with, my dad was also part of the war, but
And in Italy, we were bombing them because they said, "Oh, motherfucker, have a lot of food that we don't."
you're born on the wrong island, bro. There was no food on that island. Okay.
Have you ever watched that sketch of the Monty Python, where they're sitting very well elegant, drinking tea, and one are going, "Oh, we drink tea. If I knew when I was a kid that we cannot even afford the tea, we can only drink water." And the other guys, "Water? You're lucky. We were having to lick the floor for some humidity." And they go
Wow.
in an escalation of the most bad the situation that they were. It's so funny. It's
Damn.
and I think we're doing this now.
It is very fun. Yeah. Come on, Joe. Kick it up a notch.
You know,
Tell
man,
us
I'm trying to think.
what did your parents eat?
Damn, that's a good ass question. My mom tells me stories about just eating like tortillas with butter. Yeah, just like literally tortillas with
what?
butter, maybe some avocado. She was lucky, or she would just hope that a friend would bring home some food from a restaurant that she worked at. Things like
Wow.
that. Yeah.
If you want to start it, what happened to me, because I became father when I was 17 years old, and I didn't talk with my family. I grew up, my son and I had a business, I had a company, I was making good money. But then the mother took the son away from me, and she wouldn't let me see him. I started going depression. The company, I stopped going there. Pretty much, I found myself in this apartment that my father was paying the rent for, so I was lucky about that. But I had no food. I had only one piece of Parmigiano Reggiano, the cheese, okay, some tea bags and some sugar. Eventually, I was cutting slices of this cheese, thinner and thinner, putting in my tongue, like when you go to church, like this, and then drinking tea. Then tea finish and was water with sugar. Then sugar finish. Thank God we can drink the water out of the tap. Then also the cheese finish. And I had a friend that him and his father had a pub. I was going to see him, and he was really secretly from his father handing me pieces of bread for me to eat. Until one day I watched myself in the mirror, and I was like, "What am I doing? Why I'm letting the bad action of this girl affect me so much? My best revenge is like to get up." And I really, it's been a moment that I change completely. I restart making business, making money, and like when you, it's like a launch pad. I started and I went up to the sky very, very well. But I had a few months that they were very, very bad actually.
A good say. I've heard the saying. It says eating well is the best revenge or something like that. I think that's a good Italian. I think it probably came from Italians. I'm just
It says bomb the Greeks and eat well. That's good.
Oh my god. I was thinking,
But we really bombed Greece. Why we bomb Greece? Nothing to do with everything else.
so
Only the moment that we were friends of it.
I think I told you all about how like my dad's been disabled for a little bit, like in the last year recently. When I visited him, like we had a heart attack, but when I visited him a few months ago, he told me this story about like when he was 8 years old, he was skinning a deer, and I was like, dude, that one story by itself, it kind of put into perspective why he like behaves the way he was like my whole life. I was like, dude, he
Okay.
was he was like desensitized as a child. I had to like really visualize, dude, who is skinning a deer at 8, like completely, and it was normal. He was talking about the smell of the blood, and I'm just like, what? Like, I didn't have those experiences. I went hunting a few times. I didn't even like the recoil of the gun. I was over it. I was like, why am I killing shit? I was kind of turned off by hunting in itself, but that was just me. Like, my brother was cool with it.
yeah.
Yeah, we
Different
all have.
generations have different
Yeah.
like tolerances. I mean, okay, check this out. Now we're going down. My grandfather age when my grandpa was young, man, they used to like at the school, like for discipline, hang them upside down from their feet at the
How you
school.
think Batman came along?
Whoa.
It just gets worse and worse. Like they had this saying in Greece back in my they it was like a story where they brought the kid to school and the father would say, "You can keep the skin, but leave me the bones." Meaning
My
you could
God,
eat the kid as all the way to the bone,
Wow.
but I want the bones back.
there's a skeleton back. And
That's
have a nice
crazy.
day in school, my son.
I don't want bologna sandwich. You know, oh my God.
That's
So it's like, yeah,
that's worse than the
yeah.
give me your
In
lunch
in
money stories.
My
no,
mom saw death. My mom saw like people dying out in the mountains. Like because they were chasing them. The government was chasing them. The communists.
What the fuck?
there is a very interesting story in Greece about this thing hiding in the mountain. Also expanding not only in Greece but in Montenegro, in Albania. Uh, they they really made it a specialty about, in fact, organized crime that not in Greece but in other countries were really able to disappear in
Wow.
the mountains.
I never realized how close to Italy Greece is. It's like, it's a drive away.
It is why I told you, with the slingshot, we were throwing rocks from
Now I
Italy
get it.
to
Now I get your jokes.
They say, I don't know. You probably heard this, Roberto. Una faccia, una razza. That's what I grew up.
see that.
That means Joe. It means
One
one
face, one
face, one
race.
race. We're so close, related that it's like one face, one race. But kind
But
of
you
how.
think south of Italy, Sicily, and the other parts of Italy was Greece in the past. So there are the
And then
Amphithytra,
Italians
the
took
Greek
over.
Amphithytra.
They bombed the
Yeah, it's
place and they took
correct.
it
No,
over.
it's correct. The north of Italy, it was Greece. It was vice versa. I think that the kingdom of the two Sicilies was expanding toward Greece, and then it depends on the historic time, but they were one country, and there are a lot of interesting
Wasn't the Greek Empire was first, and then the Roman Empire kind of took over, right?
No, but in the meanwhile, and after the Roman Empire, there is the kingdom of the two Sicilies that was covering also part of Greece, if I'm not wrong. But if you go to the what we call Valle dei Templi, so the Valley of Temples, and then you go to around the Athens, it's identical. The ruins are the same. It is really the same thing. It's funny how, for example, in Syracuse, there is this church in the dome in the central square. That is built exactly where there was the Greek temple. So you see the columns, and they make the wall in the between. So they really close it down, because when we're taking over the Catholic, they were replacing place of worship. So people that were before going to worship or whatever they were going, now they will go to the Catholic Church, right? And there is a lot of places that you see that different ages, different histories, and different builds. I think Syracuse is at a certain point, has 7 layers. So city destroyed, a new city, city destroyed, new city, city destroyed, new city. 7 layers you can go down and find ruins. Pretty cool.
I'm reading it right now, and it says Italian dictator Mussolini sought to expand his empire, establish dominance in the Mediterranean, and emulate Roman conquests. This was 1940, 1941. Wanted to create Spazio Vitale, vital space, and saw Greece as part of Italy's territorial expansion. He felt humiliated by having to learn of Hitler's plans after the fact, and wanted to prove that Italy could win its own independence and victories within the Axis alliances. That's wild.
Listen, he's been one of the first to play Space Invaders.
Yes, dude. Speaking of Space Invaders, in Crete, there was a story where the German troops were parachuting down, and they were killing them with pitchforks as they're coming down, bro.
Whoa,
dude, don't mess with.
My father,
that's fucked up. Oh shit!
Was walking to the well with his own father, and his father has been killed by army and the parachute coming down.
Those are our parents, Joe. Our parents were like that. They grew up in that time.
That's insane.
Oh my God.
Second World War.
Violent.
Can you imagine? My grandparent on my mom's side, so the father of my mom, was born in 1886. 2 centuries ago.
That is wild.
So yeah.
Another story with my great grandparents, their families they hated each other. So it was like Romeo and Juliet. They were like opposing families. So they eloped and got married. But what's funny is the story was like the one family would steal the goats in the daytime, and by the end of the day they've steal them back. So it was like always like this.
Interesting.
And now we have ChatGPT. Can you imagine?
There's some photos on my mom's side of like proof that my lineage goes back to like Indian Native American healers that were women. It's pretty crazy.
Wow.
You know, we all came from women. If I didn't know if you knew that.
It's just cooler that the women were the healers though, and I don't know. I think that's pretty interesting.
But in fact, the patriarchal route is really something wrong because you don't know who's the father. You are sure about who's the mother. So it would make much more sense to keep the lineage through the mothers, because those are proven.
Terrence McKenna talks about this quite a bit when he says everybody was doing mushrooms and then just having orgies and nobody could tell. Who was
That's
like
correct, that's the point. But the mother, because she's a pregnancy, baby come out from there, there is no doubt.
But
who's the father is a big question mark.
She's the one like giving you backhands for not eating your food.
But
you know who's who.
But it was way more communal. Like all the men took a fatherly role. Like nobody was like one specific dad.
Correct.
It was a community.
But that's exactly why the lineage should be through mothers, not through fathers, right? That is an imposition made to keep control of the thing. I was also evaluating that the fact that the woman changed the family name when they get married is a defense system, because she had the 10 boyfriend, the pretendant. When she married, they will keep going after her, but she changed family name. You cannot trace her down anymore because
Interesting.
Where is she?
That's a good women. That's a good point.
GPT. That was true until Joe came around with GPT, like searching things.
I can believe it though, because even today I can't find people after they got married. I'm like, what happened to these people?
And because for my biography, I'm trying to track down some schoolmate and all, and those that changed the family name after marriage and registered in the Facebook and whatever with the new family name. That's
fucked up though, because I can find their address and their phone number real quick, but I don't know what the fuck their name changed.
Do you really want to hang out with them?
No. No, not me.
I don't talk to anybody from high school. I mean, if nobody.
Same.
Nobody.
Well,
Actually,
actually, yeah,
I
maybe
have
2
one friend.
people. Yeah, that's how it usually goes, but we're all introverts, so it makes sense.
I met this
My
guy in the
best friend.
chemistry class. We were goofing off. We became chemistry partners in junior
Because it was
high.
good chemistry.
It was good chemistry. Yeah, became friends ever since then.
And
He's a little.
my best
He's Aspie. He's a little bit Asperger's, you know. So like, you get me and him, and we clash so hardcore. Like, I don't talk to him for like a year, and we'll catch up one time, and then I won't talk to him for another year.
Dude, what's funny is, I like you if I just send you shit nonstop, even if you don't respond. I just keep sending shit to you. Like, here's more reels. Here's more fucking links. Here's another text he didn't respond to. Best
But this
friends
is-
since we were in diapers. I hope you saw that one. And I don't even take it
it's so-
personal. I don't even care if you don't reply. I'm just like, here's another.
I do.
But when I take a break and I scroll through news feeds in LinkedIn and Facebook, Instagram, and I see something cool and I'm there laughing by myself, so immediately my brain says, I need to share it with the person that will get it the most, right? And so there is really a different destination of people. So I share with you guys whatever it is I share with my wife things about the houses and family. I share with another pervert friends all the naked woman and all this.
Shit. That is funny.
Jeez. You know what? Speaking of LinkedIn, can we talk about? Listen, every time I go on LinkedIn, my thumb tends to go there, and I don't want to. And every time I go there, I hate myself. Like, to me,
You're right.
LinkedIn is like high school all over again. That's what it feels like.
Well, what's
There's a
weird?
lot of show off people.
What's weird?
Everybody's a freaking expert. They're
Exactly,
like,
correct.
God. I mean, they got the stupidest
Dude,
like, title.
But
They
to be
made up
honest,
titles.
it didn't even become so pretentious until recently, though. Like, it's only in the last few years that it became like that. I don't feel like it was always like that. Like, when it was like underused, it wasn't.
Here's broke a hangnail. Here's what I learned about leadership. I hate those. Oh,
In fact,
my
it should be a
favorite.
comedy. A
My
comedy
favorite.
should just scrolling through LinkedIn on itself.
I got knocked up. Here's what I learned about like business.
Fuck.
And also, with whatever
Damn.
is the trend of the moment, people become the most expert of the trend. You see who is serious about their job by the consistency. You started with this, you always beat that. It doesn't matter what the trend around you changes. But those people that are like super expert about blockchain, now super expert about AI, then super expert
Dude,
about, and then there is an event in the world that's now.
Before AI was even popular, I remember using those credits when I was like a member, and you can like message people a certain amount, right, that you aren't friends with.
Yeah.
I would go hard on my research, and I'm like, yo, I appreciate you. I love your work. And I would actually study these people, send them a message, whether it was like music industry. I would really try to make connections. Not one person ever responded to me on that shit. And I'm like, this app sucks.
Every day I have
That's what you
about 10 to 15 people that want to connect with me automatically.
You know why, Joe?
You're an
Because what you're
expert.
doing is creep. I'm sorry to say that.
Everybody's like, give me a shot, give me a job, let me show you some shit. That's everybody's
that's
approach.
true.
So here's the telltale sign. Let's collaboration. The word collaboration is like a buzzword right now. Like, it got me a couple of times. Like, oh, they want to collaborate. That means it's like, what it really means is I want to sell you some shit. That's what it means. And
So
now
we should make an application that is called LinkedIn Accountability. And it takes a screenshot of the job and things of everybody. And 6 months later goes around and check who suddenly became something else. Their past experience changed to match what they want to sell. And going and make a public post and say, you're a clown. Before you were an expert on this, now you're an expert on that. You know which one it is.
congratulations, you're a clown. You know, you have those anniversaries. So it says that you're a clown.
It's kind of crazy because I feel like it hurts you more than it helps you until you're successful. Then it's like you need one just for the sake of being found.
I agree.
Because, dude, I know people who have made a lot of fucking money, and it wasn't until they needed an online presence that they're like, I guess I'll make a LinkedIn so people know that I'm legit. And they don't even use it. It's just the fact that now I'm successful. I need to be found on the internet. So this is my designated site, and that's it. They don't use it. They don't touch it.
Also, something that Twitter, it took me years to try to understand why it's interesting. I would not connect with the mechanics of Twitter. It was Twitter at the time. And I tried so hard, and there is no way. And I have less than 1,000 people following me, but this is nothing of much compared to other people that honestly are less interested than me. So they engage in connection, I don't know, or they purchase followers. I have no idea. But they raise it to the, like 100,000, 200,000 easily. And I never understood how. LinkedIn, on the other hand, it worked very well by doing not much interesting things, like sometimes it is, I don't know, the interface, like Facebook, the new generation is not using it. Facebook became the Florida of the
Dude,
internet.
once I turned Twitter into a formula, no, go for it.
No, Roberto just came me back from Italian comments. That's fine. That's fine. Go ahead.
Once I turned Twitter into a formula where I was like, oh, every time I use dark, dry, sarcastic, ironic humor, I go viral every fucking time. And it's not even my own tweet. I'll just reply to other people and make a joke. And then once I provide that value, I would just follow them and get the following by following back, So yeah, I had the formula down where I was like, oh, this is a very specific type of audience that you just need to engage with, like in a
Like
certain way.
Reddit, for example, is another place with all respect for Aaron and all. I cannot configure myself in that place, and there is people that couldn't leave Hacker News, and it's another place that people just die for it. And I never managed to get the momentum you want of engaging and connecting with.
Did y'all ever use Clubhouse?
Clubhouse?
Yeah, I have an account. I open it immediately.
Shit.
And the place disappeared.
It was so good.
Okay, when I was about 20 years old at this company, and like the 155, how do you call it? Those numbers that you pay extra money, they read the tarot cards and shit like this,
Oh, yeah.
I had one company that was selling those numbers. So if you want to read the tarot, you come to me and I give you your number, something like that. So we were not doing the services, but we were selling the number of people. And somebody set up this voice chat where, because the PBX, the phone system, there are open source one. You can install in a computer. It's very easy. It's actually very funny, the things that you can do, like press 1, go to this menu, this on the menu. So you can create like adventure, like the adventure we made for the Futurama. You can do it over the phone, like press 1 to put this or that.
Yeah.
Now, this guy made this so that the people were in a sort of rotation chart, where the first says something and then goes to the second, says something, and you hear them in rotation. It is your turn to say something. And people start just going with sounds. They were not saying words. The first would say, eh? And the other. I promise there were people spending hours there just doing this sounds. It was something mentally insane, but it really made me wonder what is in the brain of people. And people were paying money to stay there and do these stupid things. It wasn't for free, So I was thinking to do a sort of an application in a social network where it's just voice. The poster voice, the commenter voice, it is voice based. And maybe I can do a mini transcript just of the initial part. You can attach a small picture, but the key is voice. You search by voice, you connect by voice, it's all voice.
Dude, that's not a bad idea. And then at the end of it, you're training your AI model so you can just send it to 11 labs.
Everybody's voice.
Send it to 11 labs and you're like, hey, you got my model here. Thanks.
How about this? You call up and then something happens and you actually get a postcard back. So it's written. Now it's written. You get an AI to write you a letter or send you a letter or send somebody else a letter.
Another thing that I wanted to make in the app is a chat, but is geolocated. So you go to a certain restaurant, you leave a message, and people to listen your message, they need to go to the restaurant. They cannot listen your message from another location. So use the GPS in the phone to activate which is the message that you can hear.
Dude.
And so when you go around...
That would be good for a real life treasure hunt.
There are a lot of very cool stuff that
I used to love that shit. Like on video games, actually doing treasure hunts and doing coordinates and going to the right spot and digging and finding. Oh, God.
Yeah,
That
you
was
saw
fun.
Pokemon Go, right? The people were going nuts to
Yeah.
map the planet thanks to the application. It's still going on today,
Going to the worst locations you shouldn't go to.
just to catch the thing exactly. Like,
Yep.
Comes with a warning, like when you get closer, warning, we're not responsible for your death. You know,
Shit.
pursue. You have to check a box like you understand the
By the
terms of
way,
service.
thanks for mapping this data for us, smiley face.
exactly correct. It is you always work for free for other people.
That's wild.
I like your ticker idea. I like that the thing you get your printout every day. I like the analog part of it. Like, how do we connect analog and AI at the same
Yeah.
time? Which is what you did. I think that's a cool thing.
IoT is going to be my next. As soon as I make about $1 million with the AI, after that I move to create hardware devices. And I have so many things I want to do. So many. Very easy to implement, but I can prototype, but then the production has to go to Shenzhen, China to make it small. But one of the first thing I want to do, the sales gonna sell a fortune, is a
Don't say
device
it.
that will break
Don't say it.
Oh,
half you. No, who cares? Because I'm gonna do them open source because I already make $1 million with OpenAI, so I don't care. And so you plug it on the bottom of your phone, like where the charger is. And this is an encryption decryption device. So we can communicate and share video and all, but the communication through the cell phone, through the whole mobile network is encrypted. So there is no way that somebody intercept our communication.
I hope you're right because
That's
everybody thinks they're doing that, so I hope you're really doing it.
no, because this is done with an hardware device that stay outside the phone. So the encryption it's not a software inside the phone.
You've seen
This is something
the mesh network that they're trying to roll out.
that trying exists a long time, and I'm including it in a project that I'm doing actually. There are Meshtastic, which is
Yeah.
one that is very famous. There's a lot of bridges, but there are many. There is an application that
Dude,
unfortunately
you should talk to my cousin about that idea because he's trying to roll out a mobile company.
yeah, I need to connect to them. There is one, but in practically there is the application that is super cool. Pretty much you take a device, you give LoRa, which is a low radio connectivity. He has Wi-Fi, he has Bluetooth, he has everything, right? And he use all of those things to connect with whatever else around he can reach. So there is a Wi-Fi, connect to Wi-Fi, there is a LoRa, somewhere else a bridge, and then you stay connected. You can create networks. And every device is used as a bridge as well. Like, so you want to reach the other, you just jump through this thing. So you can have the system that is connecting to this network in any manner possible. So they cut off the internet, there is somebody in 100-meter radius, you have Bluetooth. In a 50-kilometer radius, you have LoRa. So you're constantly connected and provides several services that you can use connecting to this thing. So there is one of those devices you can connect this made with the Raspberry Pi.
You know what grabbed my attention recently? I had left my devices at home. My phone was not connected to anything. And I was like, how am I still getting this notification that I left and I was really thinking hard about the possibility. I was like, wait, does that mean that Apple's routing through local routers that are around me down the neighborhood? Or is this a satellite? I had to really think about how that was even possible.
Where did you get the notifications if the phone was home? Telepathically.
My iPad was at home, but my phone while I was on the road was telling me you left it behind. I'm like, nothing's connected to this right now. How am I getting this notification? And
Because
that's when it clicked.
They don't find it via Bluetooth. They roll out this, you know why? For the Apple tag. The Apple tag needs to be found as many times as possible by whatever device of anybody in order to communicate the geolocation of the Apple tag. So they activated this thing in all the devices with the other excuses. And so you left behind your phone, you left behind your things, but in this meanwhile, in order to know that, I'm gonna map any Apple tag that I hear. Science.
Is it possible that I heard this weird thing that came on Facebook that G5G is actually like sending messages into your head, or and vice versa? It's actually like, yeah, I don't know, man. It was interesting.
You know what is beautiful of 5G? G as a system of routing that doesn't have to go back to the phone company. For example, if we are in the same room and in 4G, I call you, it works like this. From my phone goes to the closest antenna. From the closest antennas goes down to the phone company. Phone company routes the call to you. You are located in the same cell where I am, but doesn't matter. And it route the call back to you. So our communication goes through the phone company. With 5G, the antenna route back to you immediately. So I call you, and the call goes from me to the cell, and from the cell to you. It doesn't go to the company. In fact, with 5G, they cannot bill you by time. It's impossible to bill by 1 minute of call. They cannot give you 100 minutes with 5G because to do that, they need either to measure every cell or to divert the call through the company, which kill the advantage of 5G. Because can you imagine for data without routing back to the center and creating a bottleneck for all the communication, 5G allow peer-to-peer, if you want, connectivity. But this creates a lot of issue when somebody want to intercept your calls. Because to intercept the calls, you need to have a place where the call is going through. So they had to come out with a very special solution. The people that build the 5G cells for either duplicate the call and send it to a place where they can do the monitoring, registering of the call, or put the interception around the cells. So there will be many intercepting points, and if you call up and to go through that. The fight to lower the technology is funny because I think was fermented mostly by those that want to control, because G is a much more I mean, I love it. Is a peer-to-peer, is the centralized kind of communication compared to the technology that there is in the 2G, 3G, 1G, minus 1G.
You know what stuck with me most last week, more than anything, for some weird reason, is when Costas was talking about how OpenAI picked up the OpenClaw dude, but Anthropic really dropped the ball. I was like, dude, that one stuck with me. Like, I was listening to the podcast today, and I was like, he's so right, and I was just like sitting on that so hard. I don't know why, but that was just the most compelling
You saw
part.
that they refused to hold hand. There were Sam Altman next to Mario, and they were next to each other. There were all the panelists holding hand like this, and they were like, "I'm not funny."
World peace.
Gosh, that's
It
funny.
happened similar. There was the G20 in Bali, and they asked me to be the interpreter for the Italian Minister of Finance. And I was sitting at this table where they put all the country alphabetical order. And I was Italy next to Indonesia. And on the other side was the U for the United States and V for Vietnam. They were sitting next to each other. For the whole time of the conference, they never looked each other. There was the Vietnam guy, really turning his shoulder to the American. I was like, oh my God, that's still going on or something like that.
They're still pissed about the war, huh?
Can you imagine? Yeah, probably, yes. Maybe personally, the one guy, I don't know if the whole country thinks like that, but there was something else. Not like Greek and Italians that now get along.
We get along fine. It's the Turks we worry about now. Turks, we still have beef with the Turks.
But I think that in Europe, we all know in Europe, the only country that nobody likes is one, and it's France for some reason.
Here's a crazy
you can
thought.
Ask anybody.
I've been wondering the question to this, and I wonder if y'all have a different answer, but you know how all this data is just information that we're storing in physical systems, but we talk about it like it's weightless and it's free. What are the real physical costs of our digital lives? Like, I get the energy, the water, the heat, and all that, and who pays the bill, but what happens when the whole planet is filled with millions and billions of terabytes of data? Like, does that really, it's crazy to think that doesn't change the physical weight of our planet, or it's not like smushing our brains with frequencies or something. You know what I mean?
But you You don't create anything, right? So you transform.
But just because we don't see it,
There is
how do we know there's no
there
effect
is
of that?
Like a soul. The soul of a person is 28 grams, right? They notice, they calculate, they put the people dying on top of a scale.
I saw that
And before and after that, the change of weight is 28 grams.
an
It's
ounce.
just because people fart when they die and they pee.
But
But
to
yeah,
answer your question, so what's the question again?
It's just
what's
like,
the weight of the planet becoming with all this information?
yeah,
Well,
like
there's, I mean, I don't know, but there is a cost to the. Okay, there's a difference between the weight on the planet and the cost of to the planet. I think the cost is like, I mean, I know the data centers. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, where Elon is like, hey, let's put the data centers in space, which makes sense. But it's like, if he's thinking about putting them in space, there's got to be like, it's a problem. You know, it could be a problem. I mean, you know, I think. I mean,
The word upload is gonna make more sense than that. Because,
upload.
it's either space or it's in water. That's the crazy part.
correct.
Didn't
But I
Microsoft?
think that we're gonna have tools to save data that are so small that you don't need data centers anymore. The only convenience for a data center is the fact that you access it from everywhere. But once you can have in your pocket petabyte of data,
Inside
there
your
is
body.
no need to have more data. You know, you can save live video and audio of your life in real time with 10 cameras, and you still have empty space. So data center is if you want to exchange data with other people. But I wonder, and I have them actually. I have, you know, the SD card that you put inside the video camera or the camera. I have two of those SD cards. They have Wi-Fi inside. So as they are inside the camera, you can access the data that there is in the card. Now, this was something that is 10 years old as well. It's not new. And I think it's easy to make probably tomorrow one USB thumb drive that you keep with you that can keep all the data that you ever make in your life and your family makes. And it has also connectivity, so you can keep a folder updated with your wife, with your friend. So whatever you put, they put, you automatically updating both USB drives. I like to think that we're peer-to-peer, like a decentralized storage rather than a data center. Data center more for compute than for data storage, in my opinion.
Here's some thoughts, some late night thoughts about that. Okay, so what if, I mean, some ideas, you know, storing data inside your body. You know, the movie back in the 80s from
Yeah,
Johnny Mnemonic. Do you ever remember that
correct.
movie?
Johnny Mnemonic was ridiculous.
Yeah.
They
I mean, I
encrypt
wonder
with
if
the television channels.
they can use they can store data like in quantum, where you could put infinite information in sort of a quantum level. And then I was thinking, what if it was like other dimensional? So you take data and you store it in other dimensions, so you have access to it.
Yeah, nice.
It takes no space. It takes no, like, it
Well,
doesn't
it takes
cost.
space in the other dimension, not here, but it's gonna
You
be
know,
a dimension where people is living coffee, suddenly a bunch of data comes to them.
oh, you find parallel universe, so you can store your data like an external hard drive, right? If the planet is like a hard drive and it's getting full of data, you need an external drive, which is kind of a copy of the copy, right? And so it's like a alternative universe. So you store it in another Earth. All right, that's it.
And reaching extreme level of insanity.
Dude,
It's
okay.
late, dude. My brain goes to extreme levels when it's tired. So
Here's what's
you get
cool.
the best of the best.
So
Joe's a good one.
I'm not letting this one go. I'm really interested in this shit, but it says information always changes physical reality. Every stored bit corresponds to a change in entropy somewhere. How do you say it? Launderer's principle literally ties information to thermodynamics. Erasing information costs energy. Information is not abstract in the universe. It is a thermodynamic consequence. That's insane. It's insane to think about it like that.
No.
Is
That's
it
why
possible?
their drive become hotter when you do a lot of rhythm, right?
But is it? Don't they say you can't destroy matter? Is that what they say?
You can transform it all the time.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So data, in the sense,
You can have a working hard drive that is transformed in a broken hard drive.
Wow.
What if they could store data in the like DNA strands? Like you can add like extra DNAs or whatever, They store all kinds of information there. I mean, that's an information packet right there.
I think they said a single sperm contains 36 megabytes.
How many megabytes?
36.
That's so funny.
That's what they say. I don't know. I mean, I never measured and I never saved anything in a sperm.
Listen, baby, I got a terabyte with your name.
Shit.
Oh my God.
Consider that I wanted to do link back to the past episode where you're suggesting the vending machine, so probably they make sense now.
I don't know. That shit fascinates me because of like frequencies and stuff. I'm like, how does that not take a toll on our body?
Now, frequency is another thing. Frequency is the means of transformation. That's a very beautiful topic, right? And Tesla will love it because we are just energy and frequency. And finding the good combination of the two, we can give magic.
That dude was an alien 100 years ahead of his time.
Fortunately.
Quick thought, you know how you go to the machine to return your bottles to get money? So you have this vending machine where you make a deposit, you get money, and then somebody else can take the deposit. You know what I mean? So it's a place to it's like a vending sperm machines. You know, you get paid to deposit,
You know,
and then you can buy them.
you know what I feel for about Tesla though? Coming back to Tesla real quick. I feel bad for him because I feel like he actually got to bear the worst witness to what human greed actually looks like. Like, think about how much he knew he could change and wanted to help, but he's like, dude, these people don't give a shit about other humans. Like, they just want money. And he was literally trying to solve a world problem. He thought on a different scale.
Not only was it the evil man, but he was working for him too. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah, that's crazy because he's trying not to bite the hand that feeds him, but also probably has hope that he can sway this dude, you know?
Well, he didn't.
What are we talking about?
Just
Edison and Tesla.
yeah.
Edison.
They knew each other very well, unfortunately.
That poor guy died.
The villain and the superhero is incredible.
Dude, I actually got a little depressed today because I was thinking about concert tickets being $5 like at one point, and I was just in disbelief. Like, how did we get here? Like, what the actual fuck is that? You know? Like, there's no reason to charge thousands of dollars to meet somebody. You know what I mean? It's just greed on another level. That was just existential for me today. I was
that's
like,
a connected point. Until people can make money, they do make money. Why they would make less money, right? And until people keep giving them money, why they should stop?
Well, all of it's simulated. It's all simulated to know what's the max amount somebody's willing to spend on this one thing. And that's depressing to me,
There
dude.
is going to be always somebody paying for it.
For sure. For sure.
Look, we did this now with the flight simulator things as well, because it's just something that really gave me a benchmark on humanity, because we have thousands of users, right? Now, we made it so that if you own an airport or an airplane and somebody lands to your airport or rent your airplane, you can share the profit with the person that is doing it. So, for example, I own an airport. I want to invite people from me. I can decide that the money I make by people landing my airport, the percentage goes to the person that is landing my airport. Same with the airplane rental. The money that I make because my airplane is rented, I share a bit with the person renting my airport. And we locked it. The maximum is 60%. Everybody has put it at 60%. If we were putting 90%, everybody would put a 90%, and then they come to complain to us because like this, I make no money, and and this is what, then don't put it at 60%. And is the masses, because I will lose the opportunity. Same people by flying, they earn a token, we call it PAX. And one PAX at checkout is $1. So if you want to buy an airport, there is $100, but you've flown and earned 70 PAX, you can use 70 PAX and $30 to do the purchase. Now, people can sell the PAX to other users, okay? So you fly, rather than buy something else, you can sell your PAX to somebody else. So we made the packages that if you want to sell 50 PAX, you cannot sell it for less than $40. Sure enough, everybody is selling at the minimum because they want to win the competition with other without realizing that if they work all together, they can sell it to everybody for 48. If everybody puts 48, the person that buys has no other choice but buying a 48.
Weird. What is?
And yet,
No, I was just gonna say, what's the pattern then? Like, are you trying to say that everybody just follows what everyone else is doing without
Yeah,
thinking?
they are exactly.
Dude,
People don't know how to work in.
I think about this all the time when I'm driving, and I'm like, why are all these people in the same fucking lane when they could just go around? I think about that all the time where I'm like, they don't even care to look ahead. Like, you're just like, I'm chilling. This is where they're at. I have to go that way. I'll just wait. Wow.
People
That's
is so individualistic. They do things for themselves without thinking in community level. It's insane.
damn.
I mean, my wife gets on my case because I'm in a slow lane. You know, I like to stay on the right side. When you have a car that doesn't go that fast, it's okay. It's okay to slow down.
Not in a rush. I feel you.
But in the United States, there is no high speed limit. So usually everybody goes to the speed limit. Somebody's
Yeah,
also their
not in South
items.
Florida. Not in South Florida.
In Europe, there is a speed limit that are much higher. There is a difference, and there is people that don't respect them. So speed limit is under 30 kilometers per hour, which will be like 80 miles an hour, something like that. And you are there passing at the speed limit. There is going to be somebody with an Audi, a BMW behind you that is like forcing their way in with the highlight like this. It's terrible.
Dude, and that's because in Austin, we have the worst highway in the entire nation. Like, it never fails that you're in like an hour and a half traffic to go 20 minutes down the street. And I visited LA and I was like, dude, I'll never go back to fucking LA because of how aggressive I had to learn to drive there. Like, you have to force your way in and just be mean on that road. It's insane. Fuck LA.
And if you're in Florida, don't use your blinkers because that's offensive.
Shit. Yeah, you're just on that. You're probably just on the edge. That sucks.
People don't what
If
you get offended. Like if you put your signal, it's almost like, hey, what are you trying to get in front of me for? You know, and then they speed
Wow.
up. You
look,
don't
I have an idea. Each of us is wearing a device that collects a certain amount of information. These are sent to an AI that return back a coordinated things, saying that if everybody start doing this, everybody wins. So pretty much
no.
shift people out of their individuality and make them work in a collective manner. There is advantage for everybody.
I
There is.
collectiveness.
I'm not talking about the bad word that in America you cannot say.
We don't like collectiveness. Collectivity no go. We like our individuality. We like to, you know, break things and I mean, we like our guns here.
It's all wishful thinking. And then what's funny, dude, is if you try to do something different, people will like literally mock you for it. Like, oh, you think you're different. That's what's
that's
funny. Like the audacity to think you can be something else. Oh my God.
And then what happens is they do that anyways. Like down the road, like if
right.
like people who are ahead of themselves have a hard time, and then it becomes a trend at some point. Like, okay, in high school, that's like 88, 86. I was wearing like boots, like those brown boots with the red laces, like lumberjack boots. Dude, I was wearing like nobody was wearing hiking boots back in the day. Like I was like, I look like a lumberjack. I literally in the yearbook, they did an article of me like I look like a lumberjack, and people made fun of me. But then it became a thing. Like it's called lumbersexual. That's a thing.
Wow. Wow.
I
Shit.
was lumbersexual before it became a thing. But the point is like it happens all the time. That somebody comes like, hey, I have an idea, dude. That's stupid. 5 years
Dude,
later,
well,
everybody.
I feel like the oldest example is job professions, right? Like someone had to be the first to do a job at all times. And then all of a sudden they see other people copying their job and you're like, what the hell? It wasn't a
What are you
thing.
doing?
This wasn't mainstream.
Ah,
The sub professions are the oldest.
exactly. And they said, "Oh, I never been the only one. Plenty more people."
Some professions have been around forever, dude. I mean, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, imagine who was the first doctor or the first person healing somebody, and you're like, I want to heal
Well,
too. You know, it's got to be
they
as
got
old
burned
as
at
time.
they call
The
witches.
first
They got burned at the
magician.
stake.
They magic trick
Magician.
on people.
Hell yeah.
How you make money with that?
Well, you know, just tricking their brain to think I'm something I'm not, which is pretty crazy.
So, Roberto, have you found your 6 people yet? Are you still looking for your 6 people?
I'm still looking. I check already behind the couch. Nothing. I check under the
Are
bed.
you talking about your
Nothing.
website? Your website?
practically what I'm doing in 2019 to 2021, I invested the amount of money that if I didn't invest, I would be living without worries, me and my kids and my grandkids. Okay, so really a lot of money. And to do something that I've been working on blockchain many years, doing a lot of projects using open source systems out there, blockchain, right? And I really built up a good idea of what was the issue and how they should be fixed to make the blockchain effective to be used for real use cases, beside crypto and NFTs. And I come out with an idea of a protocol, and I put two other people, like very good brains, one American guy that lives in Texas, actually in Austin, yeah, and an Italian guy that lives in the mountains. And we went in Thailand in an hotel for a while, and we prototyped it. We validated my idea, validated the concept. And then when it was possible, there was a chance, we worked like 27 developers, 67 people total, to work on this thing just, and it was paying all the salary and everything. And we managed to understand that my idea worked. Idea worked. We built the system that was working, but the code was crap. So it never managed to start. And I lost a fortune of money because the idea was that we launch it and we all benefit, from when you launch a blockchain at the time, there was no way not to make money. And so I was broke financially because it was supposed to end in August, but I keep tracking every month and I had no more money. I started using my savings until, I sold everything I had to sell. So I was emotionally devastated, financially devastated, so much that I even hear the name of this thing, I wanted to throw up. It took me some time to do something else. That's why I did this airplane thing, etc., etc. And in June last year, June last year, I started with AI to redo the code. No, it was made with Golang. I made it in C++, adding things, fixing the problem. And I've been working and building up this thing so nicely, and it's beautiful. It's working smoothly. But it took months, okay? And now is the moment that I need to set up a team of co-founders with different precise roles on each person in order to bring this to the next level, okay? So it's a moment where I like, because I'm open sourcing it step by step. First all the collateral until I open source the central application. And this is the things that will allow to create, for example, Skype doesn't exist anymore. I give you the centralized, it was decentralized before Microsoft bought it and destroyed it. Truth is network. You want to use financial, you can do. You want to do data storage, you want to publish a website. You can publish a website that is not stored in a server somewhere. It's stored in this peer-to-peer network, so it's decentralized. A mail server. You want an email that is stored in a mail server somewhere, decentralized. So you can decentralize applications. And it's a beautiful code. It's fantastic. It came out super nice. And so that's what I'm looking now to put together a team of 7, me plus 6, to cover the different things.
Question: Are there any openings for vibe coders, or is that
Code require professional developers, but there are a lot. There are a lot
you
of.
don't know. Hey, you need a couple of vibe coders. I know a couple of vibe coders.
Actually, we release a set of API for people to experiment to create application on top of it. Is open, so that is no problem. You come out with a cool idea to write code, you can write code it on top of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say if I can find you an investor, I want like a product design role or something, because I feel like my specialty is like functionality in the UI and testing shit as well.
UI UX is one of the roles that is key, because I'm crap to it, So somebody that understands the project and start implementing all the front end aspect of it for people to use it well, and then support anybody that want to create an application on top of it. Somebody that created marketing, community management.
This is definitely the key moment to start launching, to be honest with you. Like, while the state of the world right now with how fast it's moving.
Absolutely. And this is something that you can know by code. I mean, like, the full project is too complex. There's a lot, I own the intellectual property. There is a lot of complexity. They need the global vision in order to make it happen. But to be honest, everybody can do it with the understanding of the mechanics of it. And I don't want to. I mean, I want it open source. For sure, there is an opportunity to assume, because the beautiful thing is Bitcoin is a Bitcoin because it's Bitcoin finished. So you set the Bitcoin, kill the Bitcoin, it's just famous. But here there are gonna be a lot of utilities. You want to store data in the network, you need to pay for it, right? And this money goes for all the people that is running nodes to support the system. You want to deploy something. So the coin has a very practical utility to make things work. And this is the cool thing, because there is a reason to purchase it. There is a reason to, like, earn it. There is a reason to. So people that can participate now are gonna have a front seat, and the possibility to accumulate a lot at a very low value to then monetize it later, but not later in a month, later in 3 years, probably.
It is like, I mean, I don't understand it really what it is, but it's almost like the idea that I had earlier where you're storing stuff in an alternative universe. Again, that to
Yeah,
me is like,
correct. And you use a cute application also in the alternative universe, not only storing data, but also making application, making software, whatever software you want to do, it just lives on the platform. There is a centralized, rather than publishing on a central server.
very nice. I mean,
I'm
I'm
in.
gonna vibe code this. I mean, I'm gonna vibe code the shit out of it. What's this goats doing on here? Costas, what the hell?
All right.
Yeah, I think we've reached the end of our 2 hours here. Anyone got some outlandish shit to say before we end?
Dude, what were you just half an hour ago, dude? I was pumped out, dude. Come on.
I'm trying to
Good
think
my
of
We're gonna
wad.
see everybody next week, same day. It's going to be an appointment that we're gonna software recognize, I guess.
Also, dude, I wanted to make a fucking software that just clips up our videos automatically, because I realized that Riverside like just grabs the best
Yeah.
parts. It just grabs the best parts, but I want something that all of us are talking, you know what I mean? I don't like just posting me or just Roberto.
Opus Clips is pretty good.
I
Opus Clips is pretty good.
It is. It is.
that's all. Register, record, create the clips, create everything. There are another couple of the Riverside is going downhill. It's not good. But there are a couple of more that are nice.
I have an Opus Clips account. I can throw the links in there and start, I can create all the clips.
Yeah, just add them to that folder, dude, because whatever's in that folder, or if you throw anything in the Signal chat, I'll repost it, whatever you want me to post.
Yeah, okay.
Got you.
Okay, so next time, yeah, okay. I mean, so I'll do it with this.
And we're also getting a lot of view in some shorts. I have to say thank you to all the people that is actually insane enough to watch our stuff. And
probably taking our ideas, and vibe coding them.
We are a well of ideas, a well of opportunities. People is free to send us money as well. I'm not stopping them, like they can just send it to me, give to the other, they share.
I know we're not a pair of hot girls, but we still appreciate, some cash apps of $1 million here and there. Shit. Dude, I see some girls that get ridiculous cash app requests, like trying to get money sent to them. So let's hop on that train.
Either next episode we convince Chris to wear a wig and be the girl of the poor people, and then we can make some good views. Or we need to involve a guest.
I like your shorts. The recent shorts that you were doing. Those are cool. And then you did the one
with the Why Not series.
The Muppets cool too. I like that.
Yeah, the Muppet one is fun.
I don't even.
Is it?
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right.
Ciao. Don't close your browser.
Ciao.
Don't close your browser.
See you later.
Make sure you upload 100%, mostly YouTube.